grew up in Dallas.
Yes, I did.
So
it's definitely my hometown.
What's it like to come home and do conventions in Dallas compared to other places?
I like it. I think it's great. I mean, the beautiful thing about coming home is that, you know, it's weird because you go off and you do these shows and you don't know who it's touched. But like when people find out you're from Dallas, it really makes it real for them. And they're kind of like, wow, I could become an actor, or I could be in the business, or I could, you know, get into filmmaking, or you know, and it just really makes it real because I'm not from, you know, Hollywood or somewhere, and you know, you think, oh, only certain people can achieve those kind of dreams, and it's not true. Down home girls and down home guys can do it too.
Great
Agreed.
point.
Yeah.
To begin at home.
Exactly.
That's awesome. All right, so I have a traditional question that I ask because I like to get things out of the way. Everybody who does these conventions has one question they constantly get asked over and over, and every time they have to
We've got
be
like a set of 10 questions. Every city, every country, everywhere.
So what is the most asked question, and what is the answer? So let's get her going.
What do you think is the most asked question that we get?
What was it like in the suits?
Yes. Did you really jump out of the plane in the movie?
Yeah.
Did you guys really get along? Are you really friends? What pranks were, you know, who pulled pranks on set?
Right.
What's your favorite episode? That's the one we get. So
What was
yeah.
it like in the tube?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't get that one. He gets the tube.
His tube is your suit.
Yes.
Question.
Exactly. Yeah. What was it like in the suits? And I think, it's funny to us because a lot of the questions come from you guys, and your perspective is different because you guys were fans. Like you were introduced to the show because they loved it, they were attracted to it, they watched it every afternoon. And our experience is that we were working. Like it was like, you know, we had bills. But we were living out our dreams. Like we got to become actors and we got to
combo of time to make the donuts.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah. So sometimes I feel like I've cheated them because my perspective is completely different. So I'm like, what was it like to be in the suits? Well, they were tight. We hated putting them on. They were hot. You know, they were heavy. Like we have all these complaints, and they're like, but it's like you wore the suit. Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't think of it that way. Like, there are only so many people who've actually put on the suit, so it was great. Now I just say it's great.
Long story short, it was awesome.
It was
awesome.
So,
cool.
I mean, let's be honest. The Power Rangers dialogue sometimes is.
There's some. I mean, there are some good lines in that show. You say those lines today, you might get picked on.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say it's rated G with extra cheese.
Yes,
Right?
I agree.
It's definitely a cheesy show.
I always order extra cheese.
Yeah, me too. It's like, what is life without cheese?
Exactly.
How hard was it sometimes to do some of those lines with a straight face? I mean, you have to be so intense. You're about to go into a fight, and you're just like,
Well, because my character was only filmed one time and then they recycled the footage over and over, I did most of my dialogue in the ADR studio. Right. So I got the benefit of being able to go in there, read the lines, and look at the engineer, and he goes, I don't know, just do what you can with it.
I know.
I think there's a lot of snippets of audio tape that are on the cutting room floor where everybody was just like going, I can't believe this is junk. But, I mean, you know, you have to say things like pine octopus and, you know, so, yeah. I mean, it's, as Karen says, rated G with extra cheese.
Yeah. I think every episode we said, what are we going to do? Like, it was like, that was every episode. It was like so dire. And
what's going on?
What's going on? Zordon, come in. Like, it was just like,
Here,
who talks like this?
Exactly.
I'll give you exposition.
Yeah, it was so dire.
do you ever wish they had actually written that line for you? Allow me to give you a exposition.
They may have. We we had all kinds.
Here's exactly the situation. And, you know, then you just lay it out.
The city is
Under attack again.
Under attack again. Buildings are falling down again. And you will save the day.
Well, it's amazing.
Again.
It's amazing because the show's on Netflix. Over the last 6 months or so, I you know, if I have a I watched it.
Wow.
You've been watching?
It's amazing in the first 12 episodes how much of each one of the episodes is basically the same thing over
and over.
Yeah.
Especially like the first 5 or 6, they get to a certain minute mark in the episode, and it's all about transform, and then they go through the whole. All the Zords come out in the same order. It's the same footage over and over, and then they
Kids didn't even
get in the
question it.
Megazord.
Didn't know.
Just get a Megazord,
Yeah.
and
We
they
didn't
do
care.
one slash, the guy would blow up, and then we're back in the juice bar.
What's-
Like, oh, that's awesome.
I heard a funny story recently. I can't say who told me this, but somebody told me they've gone back. I guess there's like some reunion kind of episode that's coming up in the current Power Rangers. And they went back to guest star on the show, and they said that they were like at this one point where they were all having to run out of this one thing, but it didn't make any sense. Like it had nothing to do with the story. It was just left field, and they were like, "But it doesn't make sense. We're running out of this area when we should probably like. Wouldn't it make more sense if we came out of there?" And one of the producers was like, "It never makes sense. Just do it."
At least he was up front.
It never makes sense. Just do it. You're right. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. We'll do the job.
Yeah.
Don't do any
And
thinking.
I was like, oh my God. But it had been 20 years since this person had been on the show, so she was like, it's the same thing.
Looking at it now, at my age, you know, I'm looking at it. It's very, very, very clearly marketed towards, you know, the 5 or 6 year olds.
Yeah.
And that's great. I mean, but as an adult, you're like really, oh, there should be something more than that.
Yeah, I think that's where I think the new seasons, like I love them. You know, I haven't really watched much of them, but people will go, oh, nothing's like Mighty Morphin, and nothing, you know, nothing compares to that. And I go, it's unfair because, like, honestly, our show came on every single day.
Right.
So we had hundreds of episodes, and there were hundreds of scenarios where you got to know us and you got to know our parents. Like, I had parents, I had a house, I had a grandma. I mean, it was like in that amount of time, so much was, you know, built around these characters, and we really got to see the progression of them as teenagers and just the whole friendship that they had. But now you have seasons that only come on, like, I mean, I don't know, do they get like 20 episodes, and then they might get 20 or 30 episodes. So I mean, not much can happen in that amount of time. It takes time, and I feel like I wish that the show would kind of get out of the 5 and 6 year old market, and I feel like people, the older fans, would watch it more,
Right.
or would be more into the newer seasons. But because it hasn't changed and it's kind of stayed the same, it's just tough, you know. So I always feel like, gosh, if they would just loosen the reins a little bit over there. They did with the movie. Like
Yeah.
the movie
Right.
was like, I almost, when I was watching it, I was like, there's no way I'm going to take like my little nephew right here. I was like, I can't take him. He'd get scared. Like,
Right.
Rita Repulsa was scaring me. Like, I was like, she just killed somebody? Like, I was like,
She's
hold
got
up.
teeth. She's got teeth on her staff.
It was like, but that's like, you know, the people who watched the original show, they loved the new movie because it was edgier and it was darker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like if the TV show ever took that turn, they would really, like the original fans would embrace it more.
Great.
It would be kind of fun to have two tracks, have one TV show taking that turn and then another one paralleling it,
Yeah.
taking the traditional, so we
Yeah.
get both.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a tough call though
It's a
because
tough call.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because Saban and Bandai are so focused on the toys.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
So
Mhm.
Yeah, we always used to make a joke, and I don't know if I should tell you guys, but we were always like, we would tell people, we're just a 30-minute commercial for the toys. Like, that's basically what, 'cause
That's
it was
accurate.
all about the toys.
It
And
is.
every season they would have new costumes, new toys, but people were like, well, why did you guys become ninjas? And I go, it was really fueled because they wanted to have new toys to release for that next Christmas or
Right.
next time. So it would just keep changing, you know. So all the toys.
All
You
the
guys buy
toys.
them, so it works. Everybody has collectibles.
You're
Sign along.
collectors.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
crazy.
That would be weird.
Crazy. Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird to see an action figure. It's, you know, supposed to be your likeness. They don't ever get it quite right, but you know.
Now, before you were Aisha, you were in a singing group.
Yes, yes.
Crush.
Yes.
If I remember.
Yes,
correctly.
yes.
What did Crush stand for?
Keep reaching up somehow.
Does that still affect your life?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I'm still friends with the girls, and I'm friends with the our executive producers of that project, and we're all really good friends still. And I always say that Crush got me ready for Power Rangers because we had, you know, we literally got together, and within 1 year, we worked so hard that we were able to get a record deal, and our career just kind of took off really fast. But it was because we literally, like, we weren't in anything at school. Our life was school and Crush, and we would rehearse several times a week, and I mean, it would be like 8-10 hour rehearsals. Like, we would go and we'd be there all day, and we just worked and worked and worked. And so when it came time for me to walk into this audition, and I literally had, you know, 20 seconds to like impress this woman sitting at a table, where she was just like, she was like, impress me, and I had to do my lines, and I had to dance. It wasn't anything for me to just turn it on, you know, and it wasn't anything to be in like an awkward situation. I remember my manager back in the day, they would do stuff to us during rehearsals to prepare us for things that just happened.
Right.
And so like we would be singing and harmonizing, and they would, you know, unplug one of the mics, and we'd be like, but we had to keep singing, keep going. They would like, things would fall down to distract us, or they would always just do things because they were like, when you're in a live show, this stuff happens, and you just have, the show must go on.
That's
you know,
actually quite brilliant.
yeah,
That is good.
How many performers do we see that freeze when something's
yeah,
out of the ordinary?
and it just, the whole thing falls apart, you know. And
Right.
so they really were big on preparing us to speak in public and to handle a situation if something doesn't go right. And there were so many times that even when we would go for sound check and we'd go for this, and stuff would still not work, you know. And so I felt like that prepared me, because when I went into that audition and I was like, do you have any, you know, I have music, you know, I was gonna dance, and they were like, we don't have any music. And I was like, okay, cool. And I
did do it.
did it. You know, I was like, I don't know that I would have been able to do that. It was very awkward, and auditions are like that, period.
You and Walter both had really interesting auditions.
Yes.
Because he had to make up his fighting style
Yeah.
right there in his audition.
Yeah.
And then you had no music, so that must have been really...
Yeah, I think they do that kind of stuff to like weed out. Because I mean, there's literally, I don't know if you've ever sat in an audition, but there is a difference between like a professional and someone who's a novice. It's like you kind of, like I tell people all the time when they go, what advice do you give me? I go to acting class, because literally there is a difference.
Hello. Hi.
I'm like, there is a difference between a professional actor and a non-professional actor, and you'll know because a professional actor just stays focused. It's like a laser focus, and that's what acting classes and stuff will give you, you know. So I felt like Crush was my acting class, my life class. So everything happened.
That is so
Well,
cool.
hello, sir.
Awesome.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Welcome to our... I didn't
Our
know-
vast audience of people.
Yes. Woo! Awesome.
Just the people that count, right?
Yeah.
Agreed. And who got the memos? Right. Exactly.
Now, like I said, I did have a chance to talk to Walter.
Yes.
Lovely man.
He's alright.
We'll keep him around.
At the time, he was involved with the Order.
Yes.
Is that still something that's going
Yeah,
on?
yeah. We're fighting hard to get it off the ground. Yeah, we're in the process of trying to get the distribution deal done. But yeah, everybody's on board, and we're just waiting to get the final funds and the final deal in place so that we can start kicking each other's butt.
Do
Yay.
you all know what the
Yeah.
Order is? Do we need an explanation?
I think I heard vaguely about
Yeah,
it.
rough sketch, but please.
Yeah. Well, it's a movie that David and I actually wrote, and it's
Awesome.
about. It was one of those things, like we go to Comic-Cons, and like Austin and I have never been on screen together. We've never, like some of us, we know each other really well, but we've never worked together.
Right.
This was an opportunity for us to do a project that wasn't Power Ranger related, but it was action drama kind of movie. And literally, I think when we were shooting we did it like a kind of a proof of concept. And halfway through, people were saying it's like Power Rangers Civil War because you don't know who's
Right.
you don't know who's bad, and it's dark, it's violent.
Have you guys seen the trailer?
No, but I think Walter mentioned it when he was here. Yeah,
You'll love it.
Yeah.
You will love it.
Awesome.
There's a scene in the trailer where there has to be, I think there's 18 Rangers all in one room,
Fighting.
going against one another. There has to be some sort of Guinness World
Right.
Record.
Yes.
The Guinness World Record of Rangers attacking each
Different
other.
Rangers from different seasons.
Wait,
that's awesome.
Rangers in leather.
let's say when Rangers attack.
I mean, there's probably been 100 in some of the big Power Ranger episodes, but like, that's the first time they were all just jet black leather with
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah, wow.
People kept saying, "Are you guys gonna like dress in your colors?" And I'm like, "No." The only thing that brings it to Power Rangers is that we cast
It's
in
the
all the
faces.
lead roles. We cast Power Rangers, but I was like,
Awesome.
everyone's so talented that I felt like I don't want to take it there. We've got Power Ranger movies and we've got the TV show and we've got plenty of that. Everyone's so talented that they need to be seen in a different light. You know, everyone's like an amazing actor, and I thought, what an opportunity for us to do something that's completely different from that, and just shock the audience.
I remember when you first brought it up to me, she's like, hey, because there've been other guys, there's been a lot of talk for years about doing something like this.
Right.
But, and there've been a couple that tried, and they didn't make it near as far as we did. But I remember when she brought it up to me, she said, hey, what do you think? Would you do this? And I was like, yeah, write it. Let's go.
Awesome.
And maybe 6 months later, she's like, there it is. I was like,
You're welcome.
game on. So, there's lots of people like, yeah, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then what happened?
Exactly.
She stepped up. She put up. She paid for the money. We got a trailer shot.
That's awesome.
People love the trailer. And now we're just waiting to finish it up.
Karen and I were pretty nervous when we brought the script to everybody because, like as Austin said, other projects have come along. Sometimes the script just doesn't live up to what everybody was expecting, and so we were nervous showing it to everybody and wasn't sure if they were going to like it. And everybody was, they fell in love with it. So
Awesome.
Well, one thing we wanted to focus on, because like I said,
Gotcha.
everyone's so talented in their own right, and everyone's gone on to do other projects and other things, and we just felt like in order for us to even approach them, we've got to make sure everybody has a moment. And I think we did a pretty good job of giving everyone a moment, giving them time to shine in the movie. So they're not just showing up, to play second fiddle to anyone. We all have a moment, and everybody has a chance
show
to.
pictures.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more pressure in selling a project to people you actually like.
Right. I was like ready for people to be like, no, I'm good, but everyone said yes. And even, like I said, it's a tough business, and we've had some hiccups, and we've had some things that have slowed us down, but everyone has stayed on board, and everyone's still dedicated to the project. So
It's great.
we
I
will be
personally
celebrating.
cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I actually was too old. I missed the Power Rangers. I was actually in college. We're not going to talk about how old I am.
There's lots of college kids that watch too.
Yeah.
That's
They
true.
didn't admit it at the time.
Right.
They were watching in their dorm rooms.
So, I actually started enjoying it when I first had to interview the Megaforce folks.
Yeah.
That's when I first started digging in and being like, oh, this is really kind of fun.
Yeah.
But the whole generational thing now, you've got people bringing their kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the backpack. With the backpack. Exactly.
You should see my boys.
And they love Mighty Morphin, which I'm always like, it blows my mind because that was, it'll be 25 years next month. And
Oh, wow.
that the original show and the original series started, and but it's gone almost. I mean, it's a generational thing. We'll have someone come up and they watched it in its prime, and their father or mother there, and they watched it with their child, and now they have kids and they watch, and it's like literally a family thing.
It
I
is.
tell you how many times I had parents that would come up and they'll be like, yeah, I came home one day and they were watching Power Rangers, and the father and mother would be like, I was like, okay, that's good, but no. and then take it all the way back to the beginning. And, you know, I'm like, okay, I gotta give you a fist bump. Well done. Well done. You gotta start from ground zero. You know, when you come into any series.
That's the classics.
Yes, agreed. Where it comes from.
Japanese Doctor Who.
There you go. I'll take it.
There's a
That's-
mouthful.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll take it. Like that's
I've been called worse.
right. It just blows my mind because I think all of us at some point, someone came to us and said, you know, you're on the #1 kids show in the world, and you're like, what does that mean? Okay, like,
Right.
oh, cool. But you don't know that until you travel the world, and people in different countries and different nationalities, every person knows Power Rangers, and even if they didn't watch it, you knew of it. You knew someone who did.
Right.
Somebody had a kid, and you know they fought somebody in Toys R Us line to get the action figure. You hear these stories.
Knock the doors off of
Yeah.
Toys R Us.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think, you know, for the last three years, there's been the Red Ranger and the Macy's Day Parade on
Yeah, that's when you
That's
know.
huge.
Like,
Mhm. You've arrived.
Like,
wow. My jaw
that's
dropped.
crazy. Yeah.
When I
I
saw
was
me-
texting him. I was like, what the heck?
When I saw
Texting
me
Steve.
flying
I
down,
was like, yeah.
you know, it was like Power Rangers. I was standing amidst the skyscrapers, and I was enormous. Like, I mean, I think that was a moment, that was maybe my second rock star moment
Yeah.
in my career. First one was Universal Studios, where I can't even tell you how insane that was.
That was crazy.
And-
I wasn't even on the show when I heard about it here in
Oh,
Dallas.
God.
On the news. I was like,
It was, that was insanity. But then, 25 years later, to arrive at the Macy's Day Parade, the most watched parade in the world.
yeah.
And there I was like, wow,
Yeah.
I have arrived.
Yes.
You don't see Al Pacino flying down
No,
there.
you don't.
Just saying.
Scarface up there.
None of those guys are up there.
Take a
no
selfie of
Star
you from
Trek.
the television with you behind you.
No,
You
but
gotta
I
do
tell you
that.
what, this last year, I almost crashed the parade. Because in fact, I probably will at some point. I'm just going to show up.
Exactly.
I've asked him, like, hey,
Strings and
I'd love to
flags.
stop by and, you know, be there and support. And of course, I get shut down from the top. No, we don't need you there. So, it's a free country, right?
Right. Exactly.
This is Red Ranger discrimination. I
Hey,
want to show up at my own balloon party.
see.
So,
Well, you know, you guys do a lot of conventions, and you have those moments when people are starstruck by you.
you know,
Have you had a moment where you've met someone at a convention and you have been starstruck by them?
All the time. I mean, it's just like the con circuit. It's like we're traveling circuits, but like literally, I've seen some amazing. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's, you know, I mean, there's too many to name, but there's so many iconic actors that will come to Comic-Con, and it's so cool to kind of be in this world and this family.
These two got to meet Chris Evans, Captain America.
Oh,
Wow.
he's still mad at us over that. It's
He-
been
he's
over a
probably
year.
Aw.
And selfies of my picture with me.
She's a tad bit bitter.
He's touching me.
I wasn't doing that.
his hand again.
We were in Laredo 2 years ago, and this was the first time I got to meet Sam Jones,
Oh, cool.
Sounds great.
Flash Gordon, and
Very nice man.
Yeah.
I couldn't approach him. Somebody had to like introduce me.
Imagine.
Aw.
And I remember just standing there getting a picture taken next to him, and I'm just grinning from ear to ear, and I was like, he's so nice, he's so down to earth.
So
He really is. I've seen him like 5 or 6 times since then. He goes, "Hey David, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, he knows my name." So it's still there for us too.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're almost 2/3 of the way through. I do have a little game I like to play. And then after that, we will open it up to questions. So start thinking now, everybody.
Get your questions ready.
It's an exam.
Amazing.
Not all at once now.
Okay.
So the game is normally called 10-60. It's 10 questions answered in 60 seconds. Well, now it's going to kind of be 30-180 because I've got 3 three of you. So you each get to answer.
Ooh, math.
Oh, no, it's
Are you
not
ready?
too early.
Let's just
Mhm.
start, go right down the road. Favorite color?
Black.
Great.
Black. Not yellow.
Uh
Not
Not
red.
yellow.
Favorite song?
Oh.
oh.
Paradise City.
Oh.
Van Morrison's in Gymnastic.
Nice.
I can't pick just one.
I love doing that to me.
I
know.
know. Any, only because someone brought this up to me. Anything Michael Jackson.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I can't go wrong.
The best food you've ever eaten in your life?
Fire in Scotland.
Ireland.
Dublin.
Dublin.
Best food ever anywhere in the world.
Mm.
Fire. In Dublin, Ireland. It's the best.
I missed the dinner. I got food text messages. I was there, but I missed it. Actually, Mr. Chow in New York City.
We actually put up food porn. It was
Yeah.
that good.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was so good.
Steak as big as their head.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That's
You're,
good.
and that's it, and not in Texas?
No, man. I don't care what. I don't care how good it is here. They are not touching what happened.
That's
That's
right.
nice.
Dang.
Oh,
Ouch.
and I mean every word.
Country.
I live
About
in-
the- there has been war started over
Or
that.
smell that brings you back to your happiest memory?
Deep.
Don't know what I've got one connected.
I don't know. I wouldn't have
Rain.
Hmm. Last night. Torrential.
Trees, birthday
Oh.
cakes.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it's gonna be kind of awkward, but gunpowder. The question. My dad got me my first rifle at age 5.
Okay.
And I remember just going out and shooting with him. And it was the father-son.
Mm.
We weren't killing anything. I was just.
Yeah.
It was a cool thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very cool.
People were like gunpowder.
She's like, "Will you move on already?"
I was like,
This is a world-shaking one. Are you ready?
Oh, it's okay. I just label myself as a killer. So.
Dr. X, Stewart or McAvoy?
Hmm.
Stuart.
I have no idea what you just said.
Excellent.
X-Men.
Oh.
We have two Professor X's. We have young Professor X and old.
Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy?
I'm gonna have to go with McAvoy.
Well, you rebel.
Wow. Wow, shaking things up.
With or without hair?
And a wig.
Howard in person.
Without. I mean, you know, because of the comments, but yeah.
Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Mountains.
Mountains.
What scared you?
Thought of my children being hurt.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or sick.
Yeah. That's true. The thought of my little nephews. Yeah. That's I remember I had a dream and I was like, this is what it feels to be a parent. I don't know if I want to be a parent. Like,
Yeah.
I identify. Like it's just awful to think of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I will go to jail.
Not being able to take care of myself.
Mm.
Yeah, that's one too.
Mm-hmm.
That one's cool.
So, but on the other side, what strengthened you? I didn't say they were going to be easy questions.
I think you know what I think love and hope strengthen me. Like I've seen people be courageous throughout my life and just show compassion and love, and that just makes me believe that things will always be good. You know?
Yeah.
I think that I love seeing someone who would describe themselves as the common person, the everyday Joe or Jane, accomplish something great. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's hope.
Yeah.
It's hope.
Friends and family for me, just being able to share and listen and just have that everyday connection. You know, that bolsters me, and hopefully I bolster them too. So,
Yeah, you do.
yeah.
I love
You
you,
do.
man.
I'm so glad you guys came today.
The
Oh.
next two, I use words very strong.
Okay.
But are occasionally used lightly.
Okay.
So think of it with strong terms. What do you hate?
Oh, well,
I mean, we say, oh, I hate mustard, but that's not what I mean. What do you love? What is something that really you hate?
Intolerance.
Yeah.
I was going to say ignorance.
yep.
Yeah.
But, I mean, ignorance, by definition, is a lack of knowledge, but
Willful ignorance?
I think willful.
Mm,
I don't know. Bigotry.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
absolutely.
yeah, willful.
I like all
It's
those
kind of the
points. So
same
good.
thing. All of that.
The opposite of that, and again, we say, oh, I love mashed potatoes. Well, no.
I love mac and cheese.
Yeah, exactly. You love it. But anyway,
We're all friends.
Yeah.
what do you love?
I love love. Like, I really do. And that's where, you know, like just looking at things today with everything that happened over the weekend and just
Yeah.
the state that our country's in, I love the people that are, you know, I just love love, yeah. That are standing up for each other, and, you know, especially the ones when you're not like someone, but you stand up for them.
Right.
It's just right, you know.
Cats.
He does love cats. You're the cat man.
No.
You're not a cat.
I don't know. I think
He
one of the
loves
best.
cats.
One of the best sounds. in
The
world
cat
is
man.
bird.
Did
So-
you see the girl? There's a girl here. I don't know if she's still here, but she has like a cat shirt.
Oh,
And
does
it's
she
like
really?
all the she says all the Doctor Who as cats. So it's like,
Awesome.
yeah, so we need to get you that shirt. He's the cat man.
We have 3, so I understand.
There you go.
I mean, for me, I mean, there's quite a few things that I love, and not in any particular level. But one, since we've already talked about love and animals and family, there are a few occasions where I've had the ability to go and train in the martial arts in extremely remote areas, and the sense of peace, inner peace, that comes from just hitting that zone. And I'm not necessarily talking about the hard strike fighting martial arts practice. That's good too. But when you can do the more internal work that comes
Right.
with martial arts that many know about but don't practice.
Right.
Or they think they do but they don't. I think when you hit that Zen-like state, there's a peace that comes after that is from your toes to the tip of your nose. It's just, you reach this vibrational level. You're in tune with so many things bigger than you that are nowhere near you. It's an incredible moment. And reaching those Zen-like states and places is something that's just undescribable unless you've been there. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of events from this weekend and all of the stuff that we don't want to think about outside of our convention, which is a happy place, but you have been involved with the hate project.
Yes.
How did you?
You know what? The photographer, Adam Buska, actually got in touch with us, and they wanted to do a no-hate kind of thing, but with Power Rangers, and they thought he was a Power Ranger fan growing up, and he just thought of how cool would it be that, you know, this franchise has touched so many people, and to see that they are in support of equality and in support of, you know, just people having all the same rights. And luckily for us, everybody was on board. Like, quite a number of Rangers have done it. I think there's over 100.
Wow.
Or not 100 Rangers, but I think there are quite a few. But there's a picture I had up. I'll repost it today just so you can see it on my social media. But literally, so many Rangers did the No Hate campaign. And it was just, everybody was like, absolutely, absolutely. And I just think it's really, I mean, No Hate kind of goes against no bullying. I mean, it became even bigger than what it originally started. Because it was against like Proposition 8, but it's like it became against no hate, no bullying, no this, and that's what Power Rangers stood for. We, you know, if you look at the show, I mean, there was a person of every race has been on the
Exactly.
show. They've all been leaders. They've all saved the day. Women. I mean, this is one of the first shows you had 2 girls that could kick butt just
Right.
guys, you know.
Right.
So it had just this underlying message that I think a lot of people, especially when you're 5 or 6, you didn't think about it, but it really showed a generation like you can all be friends.
Right.
You can all
It was
hang
empowering.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It
was.
empowering at a lot of levels. And there was a character or 2 in there that spoke to everyone.
Yeah.
And we mentioned earlier that, we described the show as rated G with extra cheese, but at the same time, there's this really powerful, strengthening message of, stand with your friends, don't back down, and
Right.
it's not what's on the outside that counts, it's really what's on the inside.
Right.
Heart. And they were a team. Like,
Yes.
that was the, think about that. Like
Right.
we can't in life seem to get it together and like work as a team to, get along. But it's like this show, they all did it. It was one for one for all. They never left anybody behind. They all took care of each other. They all supported each other. And that's so huge. So I love that, children that are young are seeing it. I love the fact that it's on Netflix because they can watch those early episodes. But that's, it was just such a cool thing.
Yeah, it may not resonate with you when you're 5, but it sinks in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that we didn't really know. I mean, when we
Yeah.
started the show in the 90s, social media wasn't what it is today.
Right.
So we didn't have contact with you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
What we heard about were ratings.
Yeah.
Everyone loves you. Well, who is everyone?
Right.
Right.
It's something else to walk around 20 years later, 25 years later, and meet convention centers filled with 100,000 people.
Yeah.
There's part of everyone. And
Right.
they all have their own story to share. And finding out how much myself or my castmates or other guys before or after, including the guys in Japan,
Yeah.
really touched the hearts and minds of little guys
Mhm.
who now are growing up and crying, laughing, sharing incredible stories with us. I mean, some of them had me in tears at the table. Others of them had me belly laughing so hard I feel like I want to pee my pants. So I mean, just this full range of emotion that comes from how we touched people and how we didn't know it until we got out here and got to meet you.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that, for me, made me fall in love more with the show now than I ever did back then.
Mm.
Yeah. It's such a cool, smell the roses moment. Because, when you're younger, they say, I remember someone saying, enjoy every moment of it because it will go by so fast. And it did. That was probably the quickest year and a half of my life. We worked from sun up. We'd go to work and it was dark. We'd leave work and it was dark. We worked night and day. We had very little time off. It was just go, go, go. And I mean, it was the show came on every day. So it was the demand to crank out the episodes was so heavy. But now it's not a lot of actors get the chance to meet fans that are, you guys have never let it die. It's I think it's still, if you talk to some of you, it's still, you guys watch it every day. You still watch it on a regular rotation. So to be able to now see it through your eyes and stop and smell the roses and see what it, the impact it made, it's such a blessing.
It's very overwhelming and humbling to get messages on social media. When are you going to come to Germany? When are you going to come to
I wish we could just say, we'll be there next week.
Like Austin said, who is everybody? I mean,
Right.
when you understand that it's worldwide, it's very overwhelming.
Global.
Yeah.
40 countries and 90 languages, the show.
Wow.
Still.
Something, to know that, that much positivity is still rippling out. It's just,
We have about 5-10 minutes left. Does anyone have a question?
Yes.
If you could relive either one episode or one moment for your character, which would it be? And
Just one.
Another one.
It's like Blaze.
There's a lot of moments.
Yeah.
I can think of quite a few I wouldn't want to relive.
I know, I can think of quite a few lines. I was like, why did I say it that way? I should have said it this way.
I was 18, first time I had to completely strip in front of a room full of women in wardrobe. Because that's Hollywood. It wasn't like they were
you're
being perverted.
they
You better not be shy, because there is no There's no privacy. They're like, okay, you're on set, bang, bang, here's your clothes,
they're like
go.
altering your costume, and they're like in places. You're
And
like, whoa, hold on.
women with needles in places you don't want women. So there were moments like that where I was like, I'd rather jog on nails. I don't know. One I would repeat. Wow. I think I did a scene with Walter Jones in a school hallway where he had a live spider put on his shoulder.
Nope.
And I wish I could remember the name of that episode, but we got this whole thing. The spider handler was like, "Here's a big spider," and it was tarantula, big as his hand. The sucker
Nope.
was alive. Don't worry, I fed him like 9 cockroaches this morning.
Wait a minute, what?
He's good. Blah, blah, blah. And here's how you know they're going to attack. Raise the 2 front legs, and that's how they scoop their prey up and attack. So he'll be good. They're very docile, and he's holding him. Walter finally held him, and he's like, all right, okay. So we get in there, and we shoot the scene. Action, we're going through the scene. Director calls freeze. And Walter's job at this point, the handler came in, put the spider on his shoulder facing away from Walter. And then the director calls second action. At that moment, Walter's supposed to, and you guys, you don't even see it. What you see on TV is 1 minute there's a spider there, the next minute, or 1 minute there's not, the next minute there is.
Yeah.
So Walter is supposed to turn and be like, ah, Well, he screamed at the spider. It was an action. Ah! Well, the spider didn't like that very much.
Oh
That
no.
spider turned around, both those legs came up, and I'm standing there on camera with Walter. I'm like, they said that's bad!
Oh
He's gonna get his face eaten!
Oh my god.
Man, that spider handler came in there like a ninja out of nowhere. Camera's still rolling. He scooped that sucker up, and Walter fell in love with it. Named it Homie. He
Oh.
took it home to our house, and he lived in an aquarium wall for like 3 years.
Oh. Homie, don't play that.
was a pretty cool moment.
Like a Stockholm syndrome moment. Like he almost was killed by this thing, and then he falls in love.
Falls in love with it. Beauty and Beast.
We all did.
That's how you win Walter's heart. Scare him. Don't tell him I told you.
Let the secrets out.
Right.
Austin, when you mentioned to a court this ago, he has not stopped talking about it because you're his hero. How do your kids feel you being with your dad being the Red Ranger?
Oh, it's so
do they
cute.
love it or?
I was overseas for 4 years for
Right.
so my first 2 boys pretty much they grew up without me, which is horrible. I got a lot of guilt over that, but it's something I try to make up for every day. I asked my wife. In fact, I told her long before we had kids, I was like, please never show the kids Power Rangers. I'm going to be a hero to my kids. I want it to be because I'm just dad. You know what I mean? I didn't want there to be an image or a persona. Because, that's a long way to fall from something like that, right? And my wife, who's much smarter than I am, showed them anyway while I was gone. She did it because she's like, they can still see their dad. And so she would put it on and be like, that's your daddy, he's a Power Ranger. And didn't tell me. So I finally get leave. And it's been, with my first son, it had been almost 2 years. I finally made it home, and I come walking in the door, and my oldest, he comes running up to me, and he's like, Daddy, man, you're home.
Oh.
Still chokes me up.
Wow.
So, because I came home thinking, my boy's not going to know me. And that was a horrible place to be. And felt like I never missed a day. You know what I mean? So it was, it's incredible in some ways. I had that, and my brothers didn't. You know what I mean? My other brothers over there. So that's an incredible thing. And then kind of a comical side of it real quick. There was fast forward, 7 years old. I'm walking upstairs, and he's sitting down with his buddy from down the street, and they're on the iPad, and they're, on, there's like a kid YouTube, which now I've shut that down too. But, yeah, I'm like, no Snapchat, no, none of that, done. But anyway, and I hear my son talking to his buddy. He's like, you want to see how famous my dad is? Check this out.
Oh no.
I was like, Connor, what do you? That's not how we do this. So it has its moments, but now my 2-year-old runs around, she's like, hi, Daddy. I'm like, go get him, girl.
She's cute.
Oh.
She's like, I'm the Red Ranger. be the Red Ranger. Go
That's
ahead.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
He's
Now
cute.
people watching Power Rangers on TV, you'll see Red Ranger. You got Red Ranger. I know that guy. And he loves
So cute.
Any other?
I do have one question. It's from my manager back up in Belton. He wants to know how, after being on Power Rangers, how it basically changed your life.
Well,
It still is.
yeah. It's funny because it's like, it's funny because like you'll work on a million different projects and you'll be on a million different things, but when you're on a hit show or a hit franchise that is just so like it was larger than life. I mean, it changed it in so many ways. It's opened some doors. It's closed some doors. But for the most part, it's been such a positive thing. I mean, there's. I don't enjoy those moments when I'm at the grocery store with a ponytail on top of my head and no makeup, and someone's like, "Karan Ashley, can I get a selfie?" You're like, this will be the selfie that will outlives me.
It'll be the day where I shave one side a
Yes.
little too low and I'm waiting for it to grow back in.
Yeah.
Can I get a photo? I'm like,
Mine's not easier because obviously I don't have all the makeup and but yeah, but I mean it's.
Luckily,
it's such
nobody
a
knows who
pleasure.
I am, so I
You're a liar.
I would argue that.
I used to always have a joke though, like I would say, oh, I must have on my Aisha face because, like there would be certain days, I don't know what it was, but I couldn't go anywhere. But then there were days I could go everywhere and nobody would even notice. But now that I think because we've been doing Comic-Cons so heavily, the Aisha face is on all the time because now they recognize us as who we were, but they recognize us present day. Because obviously we're different than when we were on the show.
my beard used to be camouflage. Like I wore the
Yeah,
beard
not
to hide the
anymore.
baby face.
Yeah.
And 3 years on the circuit now, it doesn't matter. I just the other day. I mean, I've had a beard for about 7 years, and just the other day, I finally bicked it. You know what I mean? It was like down to baby butt skin, and I remember just standing there in the mirror because it had been so long since I had seen it. I was like,
What
my
is
wife came in, she's like, "Hey, baby." I miss that so much. Yeah, I mean, I instantly felt 12. And
That angel cold water was working that juice at the juice bar.
Everybody
Still looks young. Like everybody
That's
still looks
amazing,
the same.
yes.
I came out of the bathroom, my daughter, who's never seen me without a beard, along with my middle son. I came out of the bathroom and they both were just like,
who is this? Stranger danger?
Who's this masked man?
My dad's a Red
They had no idea who I was. So it's pretty incredible. But I think how it's changed my life is it leaves me every day with a sense of responsibility to not let you guys down by doing something dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I
Thank
mean?
you for that,
And
yeah.
Yes.
bring that
Yeah,
on,
sure.
and carry it on with my children as a father, and I kind of feel like I have a global batch of children that have expectations of me, and I think that carries weight with me every day. You know, and I make mistakes, but I'll be damned if I don't try not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then, what was the biggest change for you?
To be honest, when I left LA, I kind of forgot about the show and I was doing other things, and so it was just for me. It was sort of a neat little anecdote that I could tell people that I was part of this TV show. And, really sort of lost touch with it. Wasn't watching it on TV or anything like that. And then 2011, I think I was living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and had just started to get like some. Because I would get messages on Facebook, hey, are you the guy that played Zordon? I was like, yeah, that's me. And somebody encouraged me to make a Zordon page, so I did, and got invited to a small anime convention there called Tekashokon. And that was the first time when I walked out onto a stage with an audience of, maybe almost close to 200 people, and started to understand that it was still alive for them. And since that time, it's sort of like rejuvenated my creativity, and so it all touches us in different ways. And as Austin said, I've been trying my best to live up to the expectations of what people expect, and also because that's just who I am.
Because we care.
Because we care, and I don't know what it is about the casting process for this show, but every single person that I've met from different seasons, they're a hero in their heart, and I don't know what it is. I mean, that show really grabs a lot of really good people, and they give back, and that's what it's all about. That's the biggest change.
I think that there's no way to look at it, like again, like a father looking in the eyes of your son or your daughter. Much like we all, I hope, looked at our parents at some point, and just doesn't matter what they say, you just have absolute faith that it's the right thing until you become a teenager and you know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, as a little one,
You go through that crazy phase.
you have that, just that. There's nothing you could do to shake that faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, I can't. How many places have we been around the world where I still see that look in a lot of you guys, and this one, that little guy. It doesn't matter what we could say anything, and that is a powerful thing. And I try to be very careful with it. I both love it and it terrifies me because I don't ever want to not see that, not in my boys or in your world or in you guys. You know what I mean? So it's just it really is a special thing. It's pretty awesome. And I can be pretty calloused from time to time. I spent 4 years overseas, 16 years as a medic. I've seen a lot of people come and go. But this kind of brings me back to that special place, and we all love it. It's not really describable, you know?
I don't know about you guys. I could keep going for hours. But we are almost out of time, so you said you want to give the website of the order?
Yes, www.the-order-moving.com. Pretty easy. You come to my booth. I think I have it on my card.
What else are we going to be seeing from each of you?
Oh, gosh, we've got so much planned. I mean, there's just a ton of projects and different things that we're working on. We'll be touring all over the world. We got a lot of overseas Comic-Cons that we're doing, and we're lucky. We're so blessed to see the world and get to meet fans from all over. But yeah, you'll see a bunch of stuff from us. We're just going to keep having fun and keep, being creative. I think that's the beautiful part about this. I'm surrounded by such creative people, so. We inspire each other and we support each other in everything that everyone does. So, yeah.
Truly. I have 2 other films coming out. One is called Walk with Grace. It's a faith-based romantic comedy. I play a super intense wrestling coach by the name of Dwayne.
That's good casting. You totally pull that off.
But I go from moments like that to breaking down like a baby in a scene. So there's a huge character arc for me. But I mean, there's moments in the movie that make you laugh, make you cry. It's called Walk with Grace. Probably between Christmas and Easter it'll be out. We now know we'll have at least a partial theatrical release. We may get full theatrical. So either way, you'll find information on my page when we're ready. I have another film coming out later this year called Tres Leches. I shot that with John Schneider. Great guy, talented director and actor. He's my kind of guy. Down home, no BS, happy to wear his jeans and get dirty like everybody else. And then I've got some other films I'm working on and more coming. I just launched my store website, gone into the toy business. I'm building, I'm growing, so be patient with me. You can check it out at austinstjohn.biz. I'm getting ready to put up the Megazord Mini Pop. You guys almost sold me out one day, so I got to watch you guys. You're quick.
You're saving one for me, right? Okay, thanks.
Yep. See how this works?
Okay,
Zach and I, right.
I'm shooting a TV series in September too.
Oh, neat.
It's an Amazon Prime series called Fireball Run. Just go to fireballrun.com. I forget what team I am, but it's 50 guys that get in cars, have 9 days to do 2,000 miles from point A to point B. All along the way, you have to find these super cool archaeological items. But the celebrity teams, we also get flyers for a missing child. And if you're not a blonde-haired, gorgeous little blue-eyed girl, odds are you're not going to get the local press time for being a missing child. So the point to this is, I have a little Hispanic boy who is missing, and I can't give out his information yet. But while I stop and do all these press, because they have press meet us at all these locations, here's a flyer. You seen this guy?
That's great. That's awesome.
So far, they've helped to find like 43 missing children.
Great, great.
I'm hoping to add one more to that list this September. So
Good.
stay tuned, check it out.
That's awesome.
And we're all on social media.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Facebook, Twitter,
Yes.
Instagram, the
Yes.
whole thing, right?
Yeah. If you come by our tables, we've got cards. We can give you all the
Sweet.
Graham.
all of it.
Yeah.
I would like to thank you very much.
Yes.
This has been a joy.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Everybody?
you.
Now we gotta get up and walk. It's that long walk.
Yeah.
Go.
Walk
So
miles
daunting.
to get